The Holdovers. The Holdovers. Great film. Oscar nominated. It's, man, I don't know how many Oscar noms it got. I just checked the list. It's a lot of Oscar noms. The film takes place in 1970 at a boarding school in the Northeast. So I'm guessing Massachusetts. I think it's about an hour or two from Massachusetts. An hour or two from Boston. So it's in Massachusetts. There's three main characters, okay? So the protagonist is a professor or a teacher, Paul Giamatti, as well as Divine Joy Randolph, who is known for Broadway. She's a Broadway singer, but she's a hell of an actress. And then Dominic Sessa, or Sessa, who's a young 21-year-old actor. This is actually his first big film. But the film, like I said, the setting is 1970, Christmas break. It's a boarding school, and holdovers are basically kids that aren't able to go home for Christmas. So they have to stay at the boarding school over Christmas break. So while everybody's going home, to wherever, like I said, it's taking place in the Northeast. So you got a lot of kids from New York City, a lot of kids from Philadelphia, a lot of kids from Boston. They're going home. You have kids that aren't as fortunate who have to stay on campus. And Dominic Sessa, who is a senior, is one of those kids who has to stay. He's a holdover, so he has to stay on campus. The interesting thing about this film is I watched it about 2 weeks ago, before the Oscar noms came out. And when I seen it, I knew, I was like, yeah, this film's definitely gonna get nominated for some films, because it's shot incredibly well. The film actually looks like a TV show from 1970. So they use the same kind of hue that films were shot in 1970. Dominic Sessa, like I said, he's a young 21-year-old actor. I had never seen him before. He's great. I think he's going to have a hell of a fucking career. This kid has a lot of range. Like I said, he's 21, and he was in a film with Paul Giamatti, and Paul Giamatti is great. He's one of the greatest character actors ever. Paul Giamatti, he got nominated for best leading actor. And like I said, Divine Joy Randolph, she also got a supporting actress nom. I think this film got best screenplay, best film. It's a really good film. But like I said, Dominic Sessa, he's about a 17-year-old senior who has to stay for Christmas break. And Divine Joy Randolph, she stays back as well. She's a cook. And none of them, and like I said, and Paul Giamatti, all of them stay back for Christmas break. It's snowy, it's frigid outside, and none of them want to stay back at first. But they grow to realize that they have more in common than not. None of them really have any family. Dominic Sessa's mother, she made plans for him to go with him and his new stepfather. They were supposed to go to, I think, Fiji or some shit, or St. Kitts. And at the last moment, his mother called and said, no, we're not going. You're going to stay there. Me and your stepfather are going to go. You're not going to go. And then Divine Joy, she's a cook who has to stay back as well. She has very little family as well. And Paul Giamatti's character, he doesn't have any family. So, it's a power struggle. You grow to see that Dominic Sessa's character he's a young kid. He's 17, he's bored. He's getting into some trouble. He doesn't have a lot of shit to do. And at first there's about 5 kids that are holdovers, and then eventually one of the kids' fathers flies in a helicopter. These are wealthy kids. And he takes 4 of the kids, other than Dominic Sessa, to I think they were going to a ski resort. So, like I said, this is a Northeast, so I'm pretty sure they went skiing in like Vermont or New Hampshire or some shit. And Dominic Sessa couldn't get a hold of his mother, so he wasn't able to go. So it just shows, you know, they eventually, Paul Giamatti, Divine Joy, and Dominic, they all end up going to Boston and having a hell of a time. But the death of the Dominic Sessa character and the Divine Joy character and the Paul Giamatti character is just, it's unparalleled. Honestly, this is one of the best films I've seen in a long time. And I would recommend anybody to see it. If you're a film buff like me, I would definitely suggest that you see it. It's on Peacock now. So this is one of those Oscar films. Like I said, I was gonna check out all of the nominations of best movie. I got a couple of more films that I still gotta go check out. But I would definitely recommend. Rotten Tomatoes gave this film a 97 or a 98, I think. I give this film a 98. Honestly, this is a 98. This is one of the best films I've seen in years. You know, I enjoyed it. You know, me and my wife really enjoyed it. So the director, he also directed the film Nebraska. He did The Descendants with George Clooney, and About Schmidt with Jack Nicholson. So if you're kind of into those like indie, really deep character dive movies, then you would love it. But you know, I'm not really a summer blockbuster type person. I kind of like depth of character, so I look for films like this. But like I said, it's on Peacock. I would definitely recommend it, and like I said, I give it a 98.